The phone buzzes during the final fitting. Min-jun stares at the unknown number. His mother adjusts his tie, her smile tight and practiced. "Ignore it," she says. "Today, nothing matters except duty." He swipes to answer anyway. "She's having your baby, right now, and she might not survive." The voice is unfamiliar, clinical, female, a nurse, maybe, or a doctor. He can't process the words fast enough. His throat closes. The boutonniere his mother just pinned to his lapel suddenly feels like it's crushing his ribs. "Who?" he starts, but she cuts him off. "Zara Okonkwo. She's been in labor for 6 hours. Complications. She needs you here. Now." The line goes dead. His mother notices his face. "What's wrong?" "Nothing." He lies. It's what he's been doing for 2 years. Lying. To everyone. To himself, most of all. Across the hall, his bride, Seo-yeon, laughs with her bridesmaids. Perfect. Polished. The merger his family wanted. Not a marriage. A transaction. He knew this from the start. Agreed to it even. Because walking away felt impossible. His father built an empire. Min-jun was raised to be its heir. Not to chase feelings. Not to fall for a woman his family would never accept. But Zara. God, Zara. The memory hits him like a fist. Her laugh, the way she challenged every assumption he'd ever made about himself. The way she looked at him like he was more than his last name, more than the empire he was supposed to inherit. And now she's pregnant. His child. He didn't know. She never told him. Or maybe she tried, and he was too busy running. Too busy hiding, too busy building walls between his real life and the life his family demanded. "Excuse me," he says, voice tight. He walks toward the bathroom, phone clutched in his fist. His mother calls after him. "Min-jun, we start in 20 minutes. He doesn't answer. Inside the bathroom, he stares at his reflection. The man looking back is a stranger. Expensive suit, perfect hair. Dead eyes? He scrolls through his contacts. Finds her name. Zara. He hasn't called in 18 months. 18 months of silence. 18 months of pretending she didn't exist. He presses call. It rings. Once, twice. Then voicemail. Her voice, warm, steady, alive, fills his ear. "Hi. You've reached Zara. Leave a message, and I'll call you back when I can." When I can. As if she has time. As if her life isn't ending right now in some hospital bed because he wasn't strong enough to fight for her. The door opens. His best man, Jae-hyun, steps in. "Dude, your mom's losing it. What's going on?" Min-jun meets his eyes. "I have to leave." Jae-hyun blinks. "What?" "There's someone I need to see." "Now? You're getting married in 15 minutes. "I know." Jae-hyun stares at him like he's lost his mind. Maybe he has. But for the first time in 2 years, Min-jun feels something other than numbness. "If I don't go," he says quietly, "I'll regret it for the rest of my life." Jae-hyun's expression shifts. He knows. Not the details, but enough. Enough to understand that whatever Min-jun is about to do, it's not a mistake. It's a reckoning. "Then go," Jae-hyun says. "I'll handle your mom." Min-jun doesn't wait. He walks out of the bathroom, through the side exit, past the guests already filling the hall. His mother sees him, shouts his name, but he's already running. The city blurs past. Traffic, honking, red lights he ignores. His hands shake on the steering wheel. His mind races faster than the car. What if she dies? What if the baby? He can't finish the thought. The hospital looms ahead. He abandons the car in the emergency lane, sprints through the automatic doors. A nurse looks up, startled. "Zara Okonkwo," he gasps. "Where is she?" The nurse hesitates. "Are you family?" "I'm the father." Her expression softens. 4th floor, maternity ward, but he's already gone. The elevator takes forever. Each second stretches into eternity. He watches the numbers climb. 1, 2, 3, 4. The doors open. A doctor stands in the hallway, scrubs stained, exhausted. She sees him, recognition flickering in her eyes. "You're him," she says. Not a question, an accusation. "Where is she?" "Room 412, but she's..." The doctor pauses. "She's been asking for you for months." The words cut deeper than any blade. He moves past her down the hallway. His footsteps echo, his heart pounds. And when he reaches the door, room 412, he stops, because he doesn't know what he's going to find on the other side. He pushes it open. The room is dim. Monitors beep softly. And there, in the bed, pale and fragile and more beautiful than he remembers, is Zara. Her eyes flutter open. She sees him, and she smiles. Not the smile of someone who's been waiting, the smile of someone who's already given up hope. "You came," she whispers. He crosses the room in 3 strides, drops to his knees beside the bed, grabs her hand like it's the only thing keeping him tethered to the earth. "I'm sorry," he says, voice breaking. "I'm so sorry." She shakes her head, tears slipping down her cheeks. "You don't have to." "Yes, I do." His grip tightens. "I should have been here. I should have fought for you. I should have..." A sharp gasp cuts him off. Her body tenses. Pain ripples across her face. "Contraction," she breathes. The door bursts open. Nurses flood in, a doctor, equipment, controlled chaos. "Sir, you need to step back," someone says. But he doesn't move. He stays exactly where he is, holding her hand, because letting go now would be the cruelest thing he's ever done. And as the monitors spike and the voices grow urgent, and Zara's grip on his hand becomes crushing, Min-jun understands something he should have known 2 years ago. Love isn't the easy choice. It's the only choice. 2 years earlier, the classroom smelled like chalk and old books. Min-jun sat in the back, laptop open, barely paying attention. International business ethics. Required course. Waste of time. Then she walked in. Late, unapologetic. Dark skin glowing under fluorescent lights. She wore jeans and a faded t-shirt that said, "Naija Pride," in bold green letters. Her hair was pulled back in a ponytail, wild curls escaping at the edges. She scanned the room, spotted the empty seat next to him, and claimed it without hesitation. "You look bored," she said, not bothering with introductions. He glanced at her, observant. "Is it the class, or is it life in general?" He almost smiled. "Both." She grinned. "I'm Zara. Min-jun. Korean?" "Observant," he said again. She laughed. It was the kind of laugh that made people turn around, warm and unrestrained. He wasn't used to that. In his world, everything was measured, controlled, calculated. The professor started talking. Something about ethical supply chains. Zara pulled out a notebook, actual paper, not a tablet, and started taking notes in handwriting so messy it looked like a different language. Halfway through the lecture, she leaned over and whispered, "Do you actually care about any of this?" "Should I?" "Depends. Do you plan to exploit workers in developing countries? Or do you want to pretend you're better than that?" He raised an eyebrow. "Bold assumption." "You're wearing a watch that costs more than my rent. I'm making educated guesses." He looked down at the Patek Philippe on his wrist. Family gift. 18th birthday. He had never thought about it. "What do you do?" she asked. "I'm supposed to take over my father's company." "Supposed to?" "It's complicated." "Everything's complicated when you don't want to do it." She said it so casually, like she'd known him for years instead of minutes. And maybe that's what unsettled him. She didn't treat him like the heir to a fortune. She treated him like a person. After class, she lingered. "You hungry?" He should have said no. He had meetings, obligations, a life that didn't leave room for spontaneous meals with strangers. But he said, "Yeah, I am." They ended up at a tiny Korean-Nigerian fusion place she swore by. The owner knew her by name. She ordered for both of them without asking, a chaotic mix of jollof rice and kimchi that shouldn't have worked, but somehow did. "So," she said, tearing into a piece of grilled fish, "why don't you want to take over the company?" "I never said that." "You didn't have to. It's all over your face." He set down his chopsticks. "You don't know me." "Not yet," she smiled, "but I'm a fast learner." And she was. Over the next few weeks, Zara became a constant. Study sessions that turned into debates, coffee runs that turned into long walks through the city. She challenged everything, his assumptions about success, about duty, about what it meant to live a meaningful life. "You act like you don't have a choice," she said one night, sitting on the campus lawn under a sky full of stars. "I don't. Everyone has a choice. You're just scared of the consequences. And you're not." She laughed. "I'm terrified. Every day. But I'd rather be terrified and free than safe and miserable." He looked at her. Really looked. The way the moonlight caught her profile. The way her eyes sparkled when she talked about things she loved. The way she existed in the world without apology. "What are you afraid of?" he asked quietly. Her smile faded. "That I'll never be enough. That no matter how hard I try, people will always see me as less. Because you're African? Because I'm black. Because I'm a woman. Because I don't come from money or power or name that opens doors." She paused. "But I refuse to shrink. I refuse to apologize for existing." Something shifted in him then, a crack in the armor he'd been wearing his entire life. "You're extraordinary," he said. She met his eyes. "So are you. You just don't know it yet." That was the night he kissed her, under the stars, on the grass, with no plan, no future, no idea how impossible this would become. But in that moment, it felt like the only thing that made sense. The months that followed were stolen. Secret meetings, hidden dates, a relationship that existed in the margins of his real life. She never pushed, never demanded. But he saw the hurt in her eyes every time he left early, every time he made an excuse, every time he chose his family's expectations over her. "When are you going to tell them about me?" she asked one night, lying in his arms in her tiny apartment. "Soon." "You always say that." "I mean it." "Do you?" She pulled away, sat up, wrapped her arms around her knees. "Because it feels like you're ashamed of me." "I'm not." "Then prove it." He didn't. Weeks turned into months. The lies compounded. And when his father called him into the office one afternoon, Min-jun knew the reckoning had arrived. "There's a girl," his father said. Not a question, a statement. Min-jun didn't deny it. His father leaned back in his chair, expression unreadable. "What's her name?" "Does it matter?" "It matters if she's distracting you from your responsibilities." "She's not a distraction." "Then what is she?" Min-jun hesitated, and in that hesitation, his father saw everything. "You'll end it," his father said. "Today." "No." The word felt foreign on his tongue. He'd never refused his father, not once. His father's expression hardened. "Do you know what this family has sacrificed for you? Do you understand the legacy you're throwing away?" "I understand that you want me to live your life, not mine. I want you to honor your duty." And what about love? His father laughed, cold, bitter. Love is a luxury, Min-jun, one we cannot afford. The meeting ended there, but the ultimatum hung in the air. Choose, family or her, legacy or love. He told himself he'd find a way, some compromise, some middle ground. But when he went to Zara's apartment that night, he saw the truth in her eyes. She already knew. They found out, she said. It doesn't matter. It does. She crossed her arms, walls going up. I won't be your secret anymore. You're not? Yes, I am. And we both know how this ends. Zara, go home, Min-jun. Her voice broke. Go back to your world. I don't belong there, and we both know it. That's not true, isn't it? Tears streamed down her face. I'm not stupid. I know what your family thinks of me. I know what they'll do to protect their empire. And I won't be the reason you lose everything. You're not... I love you, she said, the words raw and honest. But I love myself more, and I deserve someone who chooses me without hesitation. He reached for her. She stepped back. Goodbye, Min-jun. The door closed, and he stood there, frozen, unable to move, unable to breathe, unable to do anything except realize he'd just lost the only real thing in his life. He didn't know she was pregnant. She never told him. Maybe she tried. Maybe she called. Maybe she sent messages he ignored because moving on felt easier than fighting. But she carried that child alone, worked 2 jobs, hid from his family's reach, built a life in the shadows because he was too much of a coward to pull her into the light. And now, 18 months later, he's kneeling beside her hospital bed, watching her fight for a life he should have been part of from the beginning. The baby comes at 11:34 p.m. A girl, tiny, perfect, screaming with the kind of fury that promises she'll never let the world tell her she's not enough. The nurses place her in Zara's arms. Exhaustion and joy mix on her face. She looks down at their daughter, tears streaming, and whispers, "Hi, baby. I'm your mom." Min-jun can't speak, can't move, can't do anything except stare at the 2 of them and understand that his life just changed in ways he'll never fully comprehend. Zara looks up, meets his eyes. Do you want to hold her? He nods, throat tight. She passes the baby to him, carefully, gently, like she's handing him the most fragile thing in the universe. And maybe she is. The baby's eyes flutter open, dark, curious. She stares at him like she's trying to figure out if he's worth trusting. Hi, he whispers. I'm your dad. The words feel inadequate, insufficient, but they're all he has. Zara watches them. Her expression is unreadable, guarded. She's been hurt too many times to let hope in easily. What do we do now? He asks quietly. I don't know. I'm not leaving. You said that before. The accusation stings because it's true. But this time, something's different. This time, there's a child, a life that depends on him showing up. Not just today, every day. I mean it, he says. We'll see. The door opens. A nurse steps in, clipboard in hand. Miss Okonkwo, we need some information for the birth certificate. Father's name? Zara hesitates. Her eyes flick to Min-jun. He sees the question there. The doubt. Park Min-jun, he says clearly, loudly, leaving no room for misunderstanding. The nurse writes it down. Address? He rattles off his family's estate. The nurse's pen pauses. Recognition dawns. The Park family. One of the wealthiest in the country. I'll be right back, the nurse says, suddenly flustered. Min-jun knows what's coming. Word will spread. His family will know within the hour, and the fallout will be catastrophic. but he doesn't care. Not anymore. Zara sees it too. You just made your life very complicated. It was already complicated. This is different. They'll come for you. For us. Let them. She studies him, searching for cracks, for signs he'll run again. I'm scared, she admits. Me too. But you're staying. I'm staying. For the first time since he walked into the room, she smiles. Not the sad, resigned smile from before. A real one. Small. Fragile. But real. Okay, she says. Then we'll figure it out. Together. The word hangs in the air. Together. It feels like a promise. A beginning. The baby yawns, tiny fists stretching. Min-jun looks down at her and thinks, I'm going to spend the rest of my life making sure you never doubt you're loved. Because that's the one thing he can control. The one thing his family's money and power can't take away. Love. The kind that shows up. The kind that stays. The kind he should have given Zara from the beginning. Outside, the city lights flicker. Inside, the three of them exist in a bubble of exhaustion and hope and uncertainty. And for now, that's enough. The fallout comes fast. By morning, his phone is exploding. Texts, calls, voicemails from his mother, his father, his entire extended family. All variations of the same message. Come home. Fix this. Undo the damage. He ignores them. Instead, he sits in the hospital chair, watching Zara sleep, the baby nestled against her chest. They look peaceful, safe. And he realizes this is what he should have been fighting for all along. Jae-hyun shows up around noon. He doesn't knock, just walks in carrying coffee and a bag of food. You look like hell, Jae-hyun says. Thanks. Your mom's losing her mind. The wedding, I don't care. Jae-hyun sets the coffee down. Sits. I know. They don't talk for a while. Just sit there. Two friends who've known each other long enough that silence isn't uncomfortable. Finally, Jae-hyun speaks. What's her name? We haven't decided yet. She's beautiful. Yeah. You're really doing this? Min-jun looks at him. What choice do I have? You always have a choice. That's what you told me once. Did I? Yeah. When I wanted to quit med school, you said, the hard choice is usually the right one. Min-jun laughs bitterly. I'm full of wisdom I don't follow. Not anymore. Jae-hyun stands. For what it's worth, I think you're doing the right thing. My family doesn't. Your family doesn't get a vote. After Jae-hyun leaves, Zara wakes. She looks at Min-jun, then at the coffee. Is that for me? Yeah. She takes it gratefully, sips, closes her eyes. God, I needed this. How are you feeling? Like I got hit by a truck. She pauses, but happy, scared, confused, all of it. Same. She looks at the baby. We should name her. Any ideas? I was thinking, Amara. It means grace in Igbo. Amara, he repeats. It feels right. I like it. Amara Park? He hears the question underneath, the uncertainty, because giving her his last name means claiming her, publicly, irrevocably. Yes, he says. Amara Park. Zara's eyes well up. She doesn't cry, but it's close. Okay. The next few days are a blur. Paperwork, feedings, sleepless nights, learning how to be parents in a hospital room that smells like antiseptic and fear. His family doesn't visit. He didn't expect them to. But on the third day, his father shows up. Min-jun sees him through the window. Tall, imposing, expression carved from stone. I'll handle this, Min-jun says to Zara. You sure? Yeah. He steps into the hallway, closes the door behind him. His father doesn't waste time. You've made your choice. I have. Then you understand the consequences. I do. His father's jaw tightens. The company, the trust fund, your inheritance, gone. I know. And you're fine with that? I'm fine with being able to look my daughter in the eye. His father flinches. Just slightly, but enough. She's your granddaughter, Min-jun adds quietly. She's a mistake. The words hit like a slap, but Min-jun doesn't flinch. No, he says. She's the only thing I've ever done right. His father stares at him. For a long moment, neither speaks. Then his father turns, walks away, doesn't look back. And Min-jun understands. This is it. The bridge has burned. There's no going back. He returns to the room. Zara looks up, worry etched on her face. How bad? Bad. He sits. I'm officially disowned. She inhales sharply. Min-jun, it's fine. It's not fine. You just lost everything. No, he says, looking at her, at Amara sleeping peacefully in the bassinet. I didn't. She doesn't argue, just reaches for his hand, squeezes. And in that moment, Min-jun realizes wealth isn't safety. Legacy isn't love. And the only inheritance that matters is the one you build yourself. 3 months later, they're living in a modest apartment in a neighborhood his family would never set foot in. It's small, cramped. The walls are thin and the heater barely works. But it's theirs. Min-jun works 2 jobs now. Morning shift at a logistics company, evening shift tutoring business students. It's not glamorous, it's exhausting, but every paycheck feels earned in a way his trust fund never did. Zara went back to school, part-time, online classes, juggling assignments and feedings and sleepless nights. She's studying social work now, wants to help other women in impossible situations. Because someone should have helped me, she says one night, baby monitor glowing softly in the dark. They're lying in bed, Amara finally asleep after hours of fussing. Exhaustion hangs heavy, but there's peace too. I should have helped you, Min-jun says. You're helping now. It's not enough. It's everything. She turns to face him. You stayed. That's more than most people would do. He doesn't feel like he deserves the credit. Staying shouldn't be extraordinary. It should be baseline. But he's learning. Love isn't just the grand gestures. It's showing up, day after day. When it's hard, when it's inconvenient, when it would be easier to walk away. Amara starts crying. They both groan. Your turn, Zara mumbles. I did the last one. You did the one before last. This one's yours. He drags himself out of bed, stumbles to the crib, picks up his daughter, her little face scrunched in fury. Hey, he soothes. What's wrong, huh? She calms slightly at his voice. Still fussy, but less apocalyptic. He changes her diaper, makes a bottle, sits in the creaky rocking chair they bought secondhand. And as she drinks, staring up at him with those impossibly dark eyes, he thinks, this is what matters. Not boardrooms, not mergers, not empires built on fear and obligation. This, a year passes, then another. Life settles into a rhythm, hard, chaotic, but theirs. Min-jun gets promoted, small steps, nothing flashy, but enough to afford a slightly bigger apartment, one with heat that actually works. Zara graduates, top of her class, gets a job at a non-profit helping immigrant families navigate legal systems. She's brilliant at it, fierce, compassionate. Amara grows, learns to walk, then run, then talk in sentences that don't quite make sense, but somehow communicate everything. And slowly, quietly, they build a life that doesn't need his family's approval. But the past doesn't stay buried forever. One afternoon, Min-jun comes home to find Zara on the couch, phone in hand, face pale. What's wrong? He asks. She hands him the phone. It's an email from his father's lawyer. The subject line, custody petition. His blood turns to ice. They're suing for custody, Zara whispers. They want to take Amara. The world tilts. Everything they've built, everything they fought for, suddenly feels fragile, breakable. They can't, he says. They're saying we're unfit, that we can't provide for her, that she deserves better. That's insane. They have money, Min-jun. Lawyers, power. We have... Her voice breaks. We have nothing. He kneels in front of her, takes her hands. We have each other. And we have her. That's not nothing. It might not be enough. Then we make it enough. The court battle is brutal. Months of depositions, character assassinations. His family's lawyers paint them as irresponsible, reckless, incapable of providing stability. They bring up Zara's student loans, their modest income, the size of their apartment. But they don't talk about love, about showing up, about the way Amara laughs when Min-jun makes silly faces, about the way Zara reads to her every night, voices animated, bringing stories to life. None of that fits on a spreadsheet. The judge is stern, older, unreadable. On the final day, Min-jun is asked to speak. He stands, looks at his father sitting across the courtroom, then at Zara, then at Amara, sitting with a social worker, oblivious to the battle being waged over her future. I'm not rich anymore, he says. I don't have power or influence or a name that opens doors. But I have something my family never gave me. A reason to wake up that is an obligation. It's love. His voice shakes, but he pushes through. Amara is my daughter. Not because biology says so, because I choose her every day. And if that's not enough for this court, then I don't know what is. The courtroom is silent. The judge writes something, looks up. Mr. Park, Miss Okonkwo, I've reviewed the evidence. Both sides have made compelling arguments. Min-jun's heart pounds. But ultimately, this case isn't about money or status. It's about what's best for the child. Please, Min-jun thinks, please. Custody will remain with the biological parents. Case dismissed. The relief is so overwhelming, he almost collapses. Zara grabs his hand. Tears stream down her face. They did it. They won. His father stands abruptly, walks out without a word. And Min-jun understands this is the final severing, the last thread cut. He's free. 5 years later, Amara is starting kindergarten. She's bright, curious, unafraid of the world in ways that terrify and inspire Min-jun in equal measure. They're at the park. Weekend ritual. Zara pushes Amara on the swings while Min-jun watches, coffee in hand, thinking about how much has changed. A figure approaches, familiar, older, grayer, his father. Min-jun tenses. Min-jun, his father says. What do you want? To talk. We said everything we needed to say. His father looks past him, at Amara, at Zara. She looks like you, his father says quietly. Min-jun doesn't respond. I was wrong. The words hang in the air. Min-jun isn't sure he heard correctly. What? I was wrong. About everything. His father's voice cracks. I thought I was protecting you, protecting the family. But I was just scared. Of what? Of losing control. Of you choosing something I didn't understand. He pauses. I'm sorry. Min-jun doesn't know what to feel. Anger, relief, exhaustion. Maybe all of it. Why now? He asks. Because I'm dying. The words hit harder than expected. Cancer, his father continues. Stage 4, 6 months, maybe less. Min-jun's throat tightens. I'm sorry. Don't be. I earned this. His father looks at him. Really looks. But I don't want to die without trying to fix what I broke. You can't fix it. I know. But maybe I can try. Amara runs over, breathless and grinning. Daddy, did you see how high I went? I did. You were amazing. She notices the stranger. Who's that? Min-jun hesitates, looks at his father, sees the hope, the regret, the desperation of a man running out of time. This is your grandfather, Min-jun says carefully. Amara's eyes widen. I have a grandfather? You do. She studies him. Are you nice? His father's composure cracks. I'm trying to be. Okay. She grabs his hand. Do you want to see me on the swings? His father looks at Min-jun, silently asking permission. Min-jun nods, and as Amara drags his father toward the playground, chattering about school and friends and her favorite dinosaur, Min-jun feels something shift. Not forgiveness, not yet, but maybe the beginning of it. Zara comes over. You okay? I don't know. She wraps her arms around him. You don't have to decide right now. I know. They watch as Amara shows off, his father clapping awkwardly, clearly out of his depth, but trying. Do you think people can change? Min-jun asks. I think some people can, if they want it badly enough. Do you think he does? I don't know. But I think he's scared. And sometimes fear makes people do the right thing, even if it's too late. Min-jun thinks about that, about fear, about choices, about how easy it is to waste your life building walls that keep out the things that matter most. His father stays for an hour, awkward, tentative, but there. When he leaves, he shakes Min-jun's hand. Thank you, he says, for letting me try. Min-jun doesn't respond, just watches him walk away, shoulders hunched, the empire he built suddenly meaningless against the weight of mortality. That night, after Amara is asleep, Min-jun and Zara sit on the couch, wine glasses in hand, a rare luxury, processing the day. What are you thinking? Zara asks. That life is strange. That 5 years ago, I was standing at an altar about to marry someone I didn't love. And now I'm here, with you, with her, and my father is dying. Do you want to forgive him? I don't know if I can. That's fair. But Amara deserves to know him, even if it's complicated. Zara nods. Then we let her decide, when she's old enough. For now, we just see what happens. Over the next few months, his father visits. Once a week, sometimes more. He's different now. Softer. The arrogance stripped away by the reality of his own fragility. He brings books for Amara, toys, stories about Min-jun as a child, stories Min-jun had forgotten or never knew. You used to hate wearing shoes, his father says one afternoon, watching Amara run barefoot through the grass. Your mother would put them on, and you'd take them off the second she looked away. I don't remember that. You were stubborn, still are. It's not an insult. It's almost proud. Slowly, painfully, they build something. Not the relationship they had, not the one they should have had, but something new, fragile, honest. And when his father's health declines, when the hospital visits become more frequent, when the pain becomes too much, Min-jun is there. In the sterile room that smells like antiseptic and inevitability, his father looks at him with eyes that have seen too much and too little. I wasted so much time, his father whispers. We all do. But you didn't. You chose love. I chose fear. It's not too late. It is for me, but not for her. His father's gaze drifts to the photo on the bedside table. Amara, smiling, unaware of how much she's changed. She's going to do great things, his father says. I know. Because of you. Because you chose differently. Min-jun's throat tightens. I'm sorry it took so long. I'm sorry I made it so hard. His father dies 3 weeks later. quietly, peacefully, with Min-jun holding his hand. The funeral is large. Politicians, business leaders, people who knew his father's name but not his heart. Min-jun stands at the front, Amara beside him, Zara's hand in his. And when it's his turn to speak, he doesn't talk about empires or legacies or power. He talks about second chances, about how fear can steal your life if you let it, about how love, real, messy, complicated love, is the only thing that survives. My father taught me a lot, Min-jun says, voice steady. But the most important lesson came at the end, that it's never too late to try, never too late to change, never too late to choose love over fear. Later, as they're leaving, Amara tugs on his sleeve. Daddy, are you sad? A little. Because Grandpa died? Yeah. But you gotta say goodbye. That's good, right? He kneels down, looks into her eyes, so much like Zara's, so much like his. Yeah, baby, that's good. She hugs him, tight. The kind of hug that says, I'm here. You're not alone. And he realizes, she's right. He's not alone. He has Zara. He has Amara. He has a life built on choices that terrified him, but saved him. That night, lying in bed, Zara asks, do you regret anything? Min-jun thinks about the question, about the wedding he ran from, about the years of hiding, about the pain he caused and the love he almost lost. No, he says. I regret how long it took, but not where I ended up. She smiles, kisses him softly. Me neither. The camera pulls back, through the window, over the modest apartment, over the city lights, over the life they built together, imperfect, hard-won, real. And the voiceover begins, quiet, reflective. Sometimes the right choice feels like the wrong one. Sometimes love looks like failure. But here's the truth nobody tells you. The life you're supposed to live is the one you choose, not the one that's chosen for you. Fade to black. If you were in Min-jun's shoes, what would you have done? Would you have run from the altar? Would you have fought for love? Or would fear have won? Drop your answer in the comments below. And if this story made you feel something, anything, hit that like button. Subscribe for more stories that challenge you to think differently. Because the best stories aren't the ones with easy answers. They're the ones that make you ask better questions. Final shot. Amara, years later. College graduation. Zara and Min-jun in the audience, older now, grayer but together. Amara crosses the stage, accepts her diploma, looks into the crowd, finds them, smiles. And in that smile is everything, every sacrifice, every choice, every moment that led them here. Love isn't the easy choice. It's the only one that matters.